And thank you for joining us for KREM 2 News First at 4. I'm Mark Hanrahan. Whitney is off this evening. We are tracking a developing story on the East Coast with ties to Spokane. A man originally connected to a deadly stabbing in Spokane 4 years ago is now the person of interest in 2 New Hampshire murders. Police detained this man, 26-year-old Logan Craig, in Vermont on Thursday after being named as a person of interest in an unsolved murder of a New Hampshire couple from April of this year. He is now being held by authorities. The couple was found dead on a trail near their home. Police say they were shot several times. The New Hampshire Attorney General confirmed Clegg is the person of interest, but did not say how he is connected. Right now, authorities are holding him on the grounds of probation violation for breaking into a store in Utah and stealing 2 guns. Today, Clegg is in a Vermont jail. He's being held now without bail. And you might recall that Clegg stabbed a man to death in Spokane in 2018, but was never charged after he claimed he acted in self-defense. That stabbing victim, Corey Ward, died back in May of 2018 after an altercation with Clegg in Spokane. According to police reports, when officers arrived on scene, they found Ward lying in the grass alongside the roadway with stab wounds. Police at the time were unaware of any potential suspect. Later, they brought in Clegg as a suspect, but Clegg was not charged again when he told detectives that he acted in self-defense. Today, Ward's mother, Lisa, talked with KREM 2 and says her son's case needs to be re-examined.
We don't really know what happened. We only have Logan's side of the story, and I'm not sure that that is the truth. Maybe it's Logan's truth, but I'm not sure it's what really happened.
Coming up on KREM 2 News at 5 tonight, we'll hear more from Lisa on how she is fighting to keep her son's memory alive. In our continuing coverage of a story that we first told you about on Friday, Spokane County court documents filed today reveal new details surrounding the deadly stabbing that happened in Spokane Valley last week. Police arrested the suspect for second-degree murder over the weekend, and he made his first court appearance today. KREM 2's Amanda Rowley had the only camera in the courtroom for that hearing this afternoon. She is live tonight with more. Amanda?
Yeah, Mark, Spokane Valley police believe 20-year-old Aaron McAteer stabbed and killed his cousin in Spokane Valley Friday evening. Police arrested him a day later. Now, court documents filed today say the suspect claims he was acting in self-defense, but investigators say witness statements and surveillance video contradict his story. According to court documents, McAteer was drinking with his cousin at his grandma's house. They walked together to 7-Eleven when the suspect says his cousin started to walk off. McAteer says he called out to him, and that's when his cousin started running at him with a pocket knife. The suspect says he then pulled out his own pocket knife. He admitted to stabbing his cousin 2 to 3 times and saw him fall into bushes. However, investigators say they found no injuries on the suspect that are consistent with being assaulted. And they say no evidence from the scene supports his claims of acting in self-defense. McAteer told his grandmother he stabbed his cousin. He then turned himself in the day after the stabbing. Now, the suspect remains in Spokane County Jail with a $750,000 bond. Amanda Rowley, KREM 2 News.
All right, Amanda, thank you very much. New at 4 tonight, we have learned that a man died at the Stateline Speedway over the weekend. According to the Raceway's Facebook page, Scott Eldridge died on Sunday after a crash that happened on Saturday. The races on the track were canceled for the rest of the weekend. Coming up tonight on KREM 2 News at 5 and 6, we talked to a friend of Eldridge about the positive impact he had on so many people and his love of racing.
Live in that apartment right there, and I heard close to 10 to 15 shots. I thought they were fireworks at first, but I went to check out in the window. I looked and saw at least one officer, I think, had his weapon drawn turning the corner. Then I heard shouting.
Well, a shootout between police and a man in downtown Spokane over the weekend. Police say that a man they were attempting to make contact with on South Cedar Street and West 1st Main Avenue near Brick West began shooting at them. They returned fire. The man was shot and has life-threatening injuries. A Spokane police officer was grazed in the head by a bullet, but is expected to make a full recovery. Police aren't saying exactly why they were investigating the suspect, just that it was part of a joint investigation with the DEA. The police department says they are seeing an increase in violent action against law enforcement during their investigations.
Unfortunately, what we've been experiencing as a department is that some of these violent criminals are carrying firearms, and they're willing to use them against other people in the community and law enforcement with growing regularity.
The sheriff's office is now investigating the shooting. The officers involved have been placed on administrative leave, which is standard protocol in these types of incidents. Well, tonight a suspect is in custody after a shooting in Soap Lake, Washington. Here's a timeline of what happened overnight and into the morning. At around 1:30 this morning, Soap Lake police got a call about a man who was shot on East Main Avenue. Soap Lake Police Chief Ryan Cox says when they arrived, they found a 34-year-old man who'd been shot. He was flown to a Central Washington hospital to be treated. Police have not released the victim's condition. Chief Cox says witnesses gave police a description of the shooting suspect and where he lived, and a canine unit was then able to track the suspect down. He's identified as Julian Beauchamp Ortega. He's been arrested and is now booked in the Grant County Jail. Police say more information will be released at some point later today. Well, as you plan your evening commute, construction in downtown Spokane is happening yet again. Today, the final phase of the Riverside construction project in downtown began. This phase of the construction project will impact Riverside Avenue between Wall and Stevens Streets. Wall and Howard Street will not be closed at the same time. Drivers and pedestrians should follow detour signs to get around the traffic. All right, let's talk weather now because we had a perfect weekend over the weekend. Highs again in the mid-70s, which, Jeremy, seems to have been the case for the last 3 weeks now. But you're saying changes are coming.
Yes. Those big changes, Mark. Remember when I said it's going to hit us all like a slap in the face?
Yes.
Get ready. We're all going to be Will Smith by the end of the week.
Oh, I don't know how to feel about that.
I'm sorry.
I'm not reacting to that at all.
I'm sorry. Everybody's saying no in my ear as well.
I'm Switzerland, my friend.
I am so sorry. That's how it's going to feel.
Good luck.
Yeah. All right, here we go. No, we're not. We're Chris Rock. Never mind. I was even wrong. I apologize. From the bottom of my heart, I do. But here we go. 72 now. By this weekend, we will be, say, 25 degrees shy of that for our high temperatures. 25 degrees shy. Right now, we got what is known as a Rex block going on. Basically, a whole lot of atmospheric conditions that mean that high pressure center just kind of stays parked in place. We need something to kind of make its way through to break that in order to give us any sort of change. So for the next few days, we don't really get that. We get a couple of attempts at that, but despite those attempts, temperatures stay in the 70s. Low 70s Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, maybe in the 70s, but look what happens Friday and Saturday. We'll see those chances of rain ramp up as that pattern finally breaks down. And by the time we get into the weekend, we're talking cooler than average and wetter than average weather returning to the northwest.
All right, sounds good, Jeremy. Thank you very much. We'll check back in with you later in the broadcast. Well, just hours ago, KREM 2 received a response from Bloomsday on the resignation of race director John Neal. Neal had been with the organization for nearly 20 years and the race director since 2019. He announced his resignation last Thursday after being told he'd be removed as race director and given fewer responsibilities within the organization. So in a statement, Lilac Bloomsday Association President Dory Whitford said in part, quote, "The current board is working well together and is looking forward to great Bloomsday 2023 that Spokane can be proud of." It continues. "All of us at Bloomsday would like to thank John Neal for his service. We accept this resignation and we wish him all the absolute best in his future." To read that full statement, you can find it along with our previous reporting on our website. Just head to KREM.com. Well, the Gonzaga men's basketball team has once again been named one of the top college basketball teams in the country. Gonzaga ranked number 2 in the AP preseason poll. The Zags came in behind North Carolina after topping the poll each of the previous 2 seasons. Gonzaga will, though, have plenty of chances to take over the top spot in the poll as they are scheduled to play at least 5 teams ranked in the preseason top 25. The Zags season begins with an exhibition game against Tennessee on October 28th, with the first official game coming up on November 7th. And be sure to join us tonight on KREM 2 Plus. Our Locked On team is breaking down the Zags defense and how they can still be elite even without Chet Holmgren. That's tonight at 7 o'clock on KREM 2 Plus. And if you don't yet have KREM 2 Plus, you can download it right now for Roku and Amazon Fire. It is free to do so. All right, coming up tonight, the KREM Cares Big Book Giveaway is this Thursday. After the break, we'll share what you need to know about it and how it impacts our community right here in the Inland Northwest. Stay with us. We're back after a quick break.